Welcome back to Queens Behind the Scenes, where we empower women to lead, transform, and shine. And today's message is it's your season to say no. And not just to random requests. I'm talking about saying no to anything that is not aligned, not on brand, and not in service of your peace. So we're in an era where everyone wants access. I mean, we have access. Proximity to people seems even closer with social media and everything. Everyone wants visibility. Everyone wants a piece of your time, your story, and your sparkle. And if you're not careful, you'll be so booked and busy that you forget to be present and be peaceful. Something I'm really working hard and learning to do myself. So, the cost of being available for everything. Somewhere along the way, we equated availability with value. We thought being everywhere meant being important. But, baby, let me tell you, being everywhere is expensive and it costs clarity. And y'all know I talk about clarity and chaos all the time. I remember someone once said, I think it was Melissa Ford just a few days ago, you don't have to go every time you're called, right? And I felt that in my spirit, my soul, and my bones because sometimes we confuse being chosen with being aligned. Just because your name came up doesn't mean your energy needs to show up. So why do we keep saying yes? That's one of the things I that really grinds my gears a bit because we do, especially women, always feel the need for politeness. And let's get honest, we say yes mostly out of guilt, fear, and ego. Guilt because we don't want to disappoint people, fear because we worry the opportunity won't come back, or fear of missing out. Ego because we like being needed. It is some human nature to that. But every misaligned yes is a withdrawal from your future self. Every yes that isn't aligned with your brand dilutes your credibility. And I've had to learn that big time. You can't be known for excellence if you're exhausted from exposure. And hear me out. This isn't arrogance, it's truly alignment. Sorry, y'all. I got this piece of hair that keeps on sticking up since that Brandy and Monica concert. My hair done been wild. Uh, I've been wild. So alignment is brand strategy. And any marketing person will tell you that when you're clear on your purpose and your positioning, saying no becomes easy because everything that's for you will fit the frequency of your brand. You don't see Beyonce popping up at every event just because she can or she was called. Why? Because selectivity is power. The same applies in corporate life and leadership. If it's not consistent with your values, your impact, or your legacy, it's not a brand fit. Before every yes, ask, does this align with my message? This is the things that I do. I have to walk through this. Does this align with my message? Does it reflect the quality of my leadership or the quality of my brand? Would future me be proud of the choice? If the answer is no, say no. Just say no. I love to be able to say no without guilt anymore. It has been something that I've worked hard for because I myself am a people pleaser. I am also a giver. So I love to be able to make other people happy. But in the past, that ability or that has been that want from myself to make people happy has also depleted me and made me unhappy, pouring from an empty cup. And which is something I realize it doesn't serve me, it doesn't serve my family, it doesn't serve my work, it doesn't serve anything that I'm trying to do with excellence. Um, and when you're addicted to being needed, and I think some folks are, I think that's a thing that happens. We get addicted to being needed. Some of us are built our entire identities around being the go-to person, and it feels good until it doesn't. The person who has made, we'll say people have made their job, they have made up a portion of their job that they're so needed, they've made themselves indispensable. That's bullshit. Everybody's indispensable at somebody else's company. Hell, even sometimes it's your own. But that's just not accurate because being the go to can quickly become being taken for granted. And the minute you pause, people act brand new, like you owe them access. You don't owe anyone access. You owe yourself some boundaries. And we talked about that with Erica last season about boundaries. If you're the person everyone calls when something needs saving, this season is about asking, do I need to be the solution or just the example? Sometimes the best leadership move is just not showing up. I, you know, And I'm not saying not showing up for your team, but not showing up in spaces or places um, where you don't have to be the solution. Somebody else can figure that out. And one of those things that I think of about when I think about myself and saying no is the reason I said yes. Like I always think, okay, why did I say yes to this before? And a lot of it doesn't align with who I am now. Um, I'm really not scared of people I don't want anyone to be upset with me, but I'm not scared of anyone being upset with me because I said no to something that wasn't aligned with me or my values or my brand or my family. I'm just not interested anymore in caring about that. I don't know if that's my 40s. I don't know if that's being a mom. I don't know if that's having grown. I don't know, but I don't really care. The discernment framework, the 3 P's of discernment. I was thinking about them as I was thinking about this show and thinking about like, okay, what could our discernment framework look like? And it's purpose, peace, payoff. My gut check before I say yes to anything. Purpose, peace, payoff. Purpose. Is this aligned with me, my calling, my message, my family, my values? Peace. Will this cost me my peace or create more peace or create chaos? I don't want your chaos. You can keep it. Payoff. What's the return financially, emotionally, strategically, romantically, even for people? You know, what's the payoff? Because there's got to be a what's in it for me, right? For everyone. If it doesn't check at least 2 of those boxes, it's a no. Because alignment without peace is still chaos, just dressed better. It's just dressed better. Um, the practice of saying no gracefully has been a hard one for me because my mouth is slick. Um, my mouth is super slick, and sometimes it doesn't come together how I wanted the delivery to. Um, so I've been trying to normalize elegant boundaries. You don't have to explain yourself into exhaustion. I don't like to explain myself, but I do think that clarity for other people is key. I talk about bringing clarity to conversations a lot. Here's why we decline with grace and clarity. I wrote these down and I'm looking and laughing at them. Thank you for thinking of me. It's not aligned with my current focus. I appreciate the invite, but I'm protecting my bandwidth this quarter or this season or whatever. This isn't the right fit right now, but I wish you well. And one of the things for saying no that has become, I heard a woman say this a long time ago and I've been using it. I don't even know who the lady is. Oh yes, I do. My daughter used to share with her daughter. Okay. Um, right now it doesn't work for me. Can we help another time? That's a way of saying no. That's like usually something they're asking me about, like, can you help me get a kid to this? Or can we help another time? Because I'm down to help, but right now this just is not the good time for me to help. Right. So those are 3 ways. So thank you for thinking of me. It's not aligned with my current focus. I appreciate the invite, but I'm protecting my bandwidth this season. This isn't the right fit right now, but I wish you well. And I'm sorry we can't, but I would love to help another time. That's it. No essay, no guilt, no over apology, no over explaining. Your tone can still be warm. And like I said, I'm working on that myself. Your boundaries still can be firm, right? Warm tone does not mean boundaries have to be loosey goosey. The feminine power with that is feminine power with executive precision. That's what I have branded it as. So, for me, saying no had been difficult. Again, it's that woman, we're taught be nice and be polite and be all these things that nobody else has to be, right? But saying no these days has really, really given me back and protected some of my peace and my brand. And I still will, and I have got to go back to that Melissa Ford. You don't have to go every time you're called. That actually reeks of desperation, in my opinion. But who am I? So with this short episode, I want to leave you with this. Your name, your energy, your presence, that is your brand. And the more you mature in purpose, the more selective you must become with the access people have to you. So as you walk into the season, remember, you are not obligated to every opportunity. You are not required to attend every table. You don't have to go every time you're called. Say no to distraction, say no to dilution, say no to anything that doesn't mirror your mission or your purpose. Because when you start saying no with confidence, you make space for opportunities that truly have your name written in alignment, not inconvenience. This Queen's Behind the Scenes, I'm trying to remind you to protect your peace like profit, guard your brand like equity, and treat your yes like it is currency. Spend it only where it multiplies. That is it for now. I hope to see y'all next week. I think I'm going to have a really good guest for you next week. So I'm really excited about that. But I wanted to drop a short episode around saying no because it is something I'm actively working on. And I love to drop gems as I'm learning more to be able to um, provide those to the audience that I do have. So thank y'all so much. And I'll see you next week.